evening, everybody, and welcome back to Red Devils TV. I'm here with Webby. Sorry for the delay. We had a few technical issues, but let's get right into the video. So, obviously, Manchester United, we played Copenhagen last night. An absolute disaster it was, in my opinion. But, Webby, what were your thoughts on the game?
I thought we started off well. We was controlling the game at 2-0. Obviously, the red card changes it. Second half, I thought we did well. But there was always a chance, they had to come out and attack us. It shocked me that they didn't do it before. Obviously, disappointing we got beat, going over there for the must-win game, which we needed to win. I just thought that until the sending off, we were controlling the game. I really thought we could go in with maybe 3 up, and we get them going in at half-time. So I thought the referee was poor. Bad decisions, the player instruction and Arna's due for the first goal, and obviously the Rashford sending off. Obviously, when he sees it on telly, it does look bad, but he's not intent to do it. You know what I mean? He's got to shield the ball, but that's what you get with these foreign referees. You won't see. Would you see that in the Premiership getting a red card? I don't think you would. With some of the tackles we've seen going in recently, but disappointing. It's all down to go to Galatasaray now and having to win the game there, which is going to be very, very difficult. And then obviously beating Bayern, because Bayern are qualified. Probably leave most of the big stars out and play the young squad members, but these squad members are decent players, so uphill task now to qualify, and they don't want to come further, rather be bottom of the group and go out and totally altogether.
Yeah, I completely agree. I completely agree with you, mate. I'd much rather be out of Europe than actually drop down to the Europa League. But do you think that we can kiss our goodnights to the Champions League for now, or do you think that we've still got a chance? Obviously, points wise and mathematically, we can do it. But like you said, that Galatasaray will be a very tough game. Bayern Munich, they might go all out. They might play some of the young players. We have no idea. But do you think we're out of the Champions League, or do you think we've still got a chance?
Well, you've still got a chance till it's mathematically over, but it's going to be very difficult. Galatasaray, that crowd at home, it's going to be hard. If we needed to win last night. So, yeah, I think we under night, I think we're out. But until it's mathematically possible, we can't get through. I'll always think that we've got a chance, but it's going to be very difficult.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. And obviously, defensively last night, we were all over the place. Even though the red card did affect the game, I feel like that's for me, in my opinion. I believe that as soon as Rashford got a red card, Eric Ten Hag should have brought on someone like Amrabat, some of that bit more defensive mindedness about them. And Eriksen just looked completely exposed in that midfield in that last 13 minutes of added time in the first half. But what were your thoughts on the defence last night? Because for me, there was just too many defensive errors.
Gutted when Johnny Evans went off. Devastated. Yeah. Gutted that Evans went off. No, we obviously, it's hard wherever you play in Europe, and it's not our back four we want, I thought Delo got exposed for the player he is last night. You know what I mean? I'm not going to come in here and slag any United player off, but he is a weak link. 4 years ago, when we sent him on loan to Milan, we let him play against us. That says it all to me. If he's a threat and a danger, then you don't let him play against us. No, I just think that the massive blow, and I've said it on my channel and other people, Luke Shaw, massive blow. You don't, if you're losing for 1 game, 2 game, I'll give him a rest. You can see the difference. But when you've lost him for how long has he not played for now? 12 games, if something like that. Yeah. Massive blow. And I've heard he's going to be back in a couple of weeks, but we don't want to rush him back. But no, I just don't see the point of. I would have played regular on at left back. You're more shapes. But obviously he went for Delo. He's played left back for us before. He fancied him, but. I think last night he got caught out, and obviously the third goal when he's sleeping, he gets done. We've seen that Newcastle. He got done a couple of times the Newcastle game, but he's had to play there because of obviously Wan-Bissaka and the full-back shortage on the left side as well. But disappointed. The defence, I thought I did it all right. I thought Varane looked a bit shaky when he come on. You expect these players to be counted at. They've been to places like that. He's a 4 times winner. But he didn't step up to the mark in my eyes. I thought he did okay, but just a midfield, you're saying. And to be honest, last night, I thought we kept the ball quite well.
We did, yeah.
To what we have done in Premier League matches and other European matches. But rightly so, would have Pep made the change straight away once the red card happened? Would he have whipped someone off to put an holding midfield played on? He might have done it. It shocked me. I thought he was going to do the substitution straight away, but he thought, let's have a go. And before we know it, they'd scored 2 goals, and they were back in the game. But I thought Ericsson was doing well before the sending off. I thought we did well as a team, and I wasn't before the game. I thought could be difficult this because they played well at Old Trafford, but we had them where we wanted them, and the sending off changed the game, mate.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, mate. And with the Ericsson situation, I don't even just the Ericsson situation, I think that first 25, 30 minutes that was the best we've actually seen our team play all season. Now, it doesn't matter against the opposition. You've still got to beat what's in front of you. And I think as an actual system, we could actually see what Manchester United were trying to do. We were attacking their wider areas. We were passing into the box. Hoyland was getting forward a lot more and getting the service. We looked a proper threat. And you spoke about Dalot there, about how when he went on loan to AC Milan, we let him play against us. I think we can even use more recent evidence about Dalot, because Dalot's played at right back the entire time Wan-Bissaka's been out injured. And as soon as Wan-Bissaka comes back, Wan-Bissaka straight into the right back position. So it's clear Eric Ten Hag rates Wan-Bissaka as the right back over Diogo Dalot. Now, do you think Diogo Dalot should be dropped against Luton?
Oof. All depends on reaction. Obviously, Wan-Bissaka's first game in so many months, is any side effects, how's Reguilon? Is he ready to start against Luton? I don't like the word dropped in a way, not that way. I think if Reguilon's fit, then he plays and Dalot goes on the bench. I just think that he falls asleep too much for me. And, that back post, you got to be on your toes. You got to put that angle on and look at your winger coming in or that side of the midfield and be able to watch the ball as well. Which he didn't do. He got away with it against. Who did he get away with it the other week when he come in the tackle? Was it Sheffield United or something at the back post?
Yeah.
It was something like Sheffield United or the game we've had recently where he got away with good defending, but obviously he fell asleep last night at a crucial point when we was winning 3-2 a couple of minutes ago, and for me it cost us the game because the momentum's then with them going forward with the extra man looking for the winner, and he got it. So let's see what Ten Hag picks. But if Wan-Bissaka's got no side effects and Reguilon's a bit stronger, then he comes in and plays, and Dalot's on the bench for me.
Yeah, I agree with you, mate. I do like Dalot. I do think that he is a decent player, but again, it's not even just last night. I mean, look what happened when in the first goal we conceded against Newcastle. Almiron was just staying out wide and then just completely beat him for pace because he wasn't watching where he was going, and then we conceded that first goal against Newcastle in the Carabao Cup. But obviously, we've mentioned Johnny Evans as well. Now, for me, this is a massive injury blow, and I'm going to say it here that I'll be honest, I did ridicule this signing when Johnny Evans first came back. I was like, it's a signing we shouldn't be making. But arguably, Johnny Evans has been our best centre-back this season. What are your thoughts on Johnny Evans' recent performances?
Johnny Evans is mint. I remember the day he left. I was absolutely gutted, and City was, obviously he's 35, he's going to pick up his injuries now. He never thought he'd be playing for United in this stage of his career. What was it last night? That was 10 years apart from his last Champions League match for United to the one last night.
Yeah.
I just wish Johnny Evans was 8 or 9 years younger. It'd be meant, I know Guardiola was after him a couple of years back when he was at Leicester, but his allegiance and his love for United turned it down, which is fair play to him. He could have gone to City, won all the trophies, got probably a decent pay rise, but for his love of United, he stayed at United, and it's somewhat what he'll be respected for. Big blow, Johnny, but let's have it right. No disrespect for Johnny, I'm a big fan of, but should we be relying on a 35-year-old bloke at Manchester United? That's what times are at the club. I was shocked myself when I seen him back train. I just thought he was training there pre-season to stay fit, and then they've seen something and offered him a contract. So that was telling me that they didn't think Martinez was fit and pushed him in too quick, because Johnny wasn't even getting on the bench up till a couple of months ago, was he? He wasn't even on the bench. He was just there.
Wasn't it the Arsenal game when Martinez went off as when he first brought on? Was that when he first started playing for us in the competitive games?
Yeah, because they want Maguire out injured or something, so he went on the bench. Maguire in Brazil or something. No, I'm just like you say, should be really relying on Johnny Evans. That's how bad the club is at the moment. It's poor. And Johnny got injured, and those little injuries when you're 22, 23, you can probably shake him off within 3 or 4 days. When you're 35, you're probably talking a couple of weeks. So, big blow. Who comes in? Lindelof. I'm a fan of Lindelof. I thought he did well coming in last year for Martinez, but he's always prone to make that mistake. He's always going to liable to get bullied off the ball. I remember a match a few years ago, I don't know if it was in COVID, where centre forward just said, get out of the way, smash bang, and he just put it in the back of the net. So, no, it's hard at the moment. We've got to stick together. It's imperative that we beat Luton, who got a good result, was unlucky not to beat Liverpool last week.
Yeah.
Could be a tough game. They're coming to Old Trafford, nothing to lose. So, if we're not on our marks, mate, we'll get beat by Luton, believe you me.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that, like you said before, that the way the club's in the mess at the moment, that playing Johnny Evans and him being arguably our best centre-back just says it all about how the club's being run. But just last question on last night's game. What were your thoughts on Rasmus Højlund's performance? Because obviously we've stated on previous shows together that Rasmus Højlund needs the service. He hasn't been getting that service and we haven't been able to see his true strengths. But last night we saw probably the best game of Rasmus Højlund in the game. What were your thoughts on his performance?
Yeah, I thought he did okay. Obviously, he's going to get the plaudits for scoring 2 goals. Could have probably had his hat-trick in the first half. You know, he's only a young kid. You know, he gets a bit of service, he improves what he can do. He needs that service in the Premier League game. You know, get those balls into him because he'll find the positions. He's a very, very clever young boy.
Yeah.
Regarding that. No, I think he's got a great future. Hopefully it's at United. But no, get the service and he'll score the goals, you know. And I was just pleased with the way Bruno got a bit closer to him last night. Instead of being that massive difference, you know, it doesn't have to be Bruno, it could be Mount, it could be anybody, but he needs that bit of help. You know, he's only going to get better, but he needs a service. Without the service, if he was playing for City now, he'd have 15, 20 goals, simple.
Most likely, mate, most likely.
And the story.
Yeah, definitely. And obviously, we'll go on to the Luton game now. Obviously, this is a must-win because, I mean, we say about every single game at the moment.
Every game is a must-win for United.
Every game's a must-win for United at the moment. But the question is that how do you think Luton are going to set up? Do you think they're going to try and play us off the park, or do you think they're going to step back with a deep line and low block and try and break us on the counter-attack like they did against Liverpool?
Exactly like they did against Liverpool. That's their style of play. You know, they've got a couple of ex-Reds coming back, Ted and Mengi and is it Chong who scored against Liverpool. You know, so they'll be up for making a good show. Prove United made a mistake by letting them go. Luton will be up for it, you know. They come up from all those leagues, and the dream was to play at the likes of Old Trafford and Anfield and the Emirates when he was making those ways up through the divisions, you know. So they're going to be up for it, and they're not going to lie down and die. And they know that even with United not playing at the best, they can't come out and try and really attack us because they'll get picked off. We've got those players to do it. So I'm expecting a tough physical game. You know, they put themselves about and the kid Barkley's playing well for them, the ex-Everton Chelsea player. Seems to have coming from nowhere again, and he's playing good football. And I did watch the match against Luton Liverpool, and I thought he was one of the best players on the pitch. So take it lightly. We're not up for it at 3:00. We will get beat, mate. But we've got to be up for it because, like I say, it's a must-win game.
Yeah, definitely, mate. And obviously, Manchester United, we have well, not even Manchester United, like we've struggled against like low block teams throughout the season, and you could even say last season, like these lower teams that we have to face that do put up a low block and do set us up in the counter attack. This high line that Erik ten Hag wants to play, we just get completely picked off apart, and that's what happened in pre-season. Now Wan-Bissaka's back. I wanted to ask you about this. Erik ten Hag wanted to play this 3-1-6 formation, and Wan-Bissaka almost became a wide midfielder, almost because he was getting that high up the pitch. Now, do you think that now Wan-Bissaka's back, he was the missing piece to this Erik ten Hag system? That's why we've not really seen Erik ten Hag ball, or do you think that at this stage in Erik ten Hag's career, Manchester United with the media on his back, do you think Manchester United can like sacrifice this and still play Erik ten Hag ball, or do you think we have to grind out the results?
Got to grind out results, you know. I know Wan-Bissaka used to be a winger as a young lad at Palace, you know. I think his crossing's improved to what it was. His positional sense has improved, but obviously, no, we've just got to scrap and scrap. There's no point us trying to play this exciting brand of football and not winning games. So it's hard, mate. It's hard. I think obviously the injuries haven't helped us, you know. And I'm not coming on here moaning about injuries. Every team gets injured. It's part and parcel of the game. But Christ, to have 3 left backs out all at the same time. You know, you look bad, then you lose a fullback, then you lose a midfielder, then you lose someone up front, then you lose a winger for stuff, then you got the Sancho crap. What's going on? The club's in a mess. So basically, we've got to stick together, grind out results, and just see where it takes us. But You know what I mean? We just need a few months now of no really long-term injuries. You know, the Casemiro one was at a blow, yeah, because Casemiro for me, you need him. You need him in the team. You know, he's been there and done it. I know he's not started off the season great, but a few games last year he did play, and all of a sudden he had 3 or 4 good games. So it's an important player you win. You're losing, it's a Champions League serial winner. You know, so that's a blow of him being out until Christmas. So look, you've got to scrap for results. Simple as, you know, I'd take a 1-0 win against Luton now with an own goal in the last minute. It gets us 3 points. You know what I mean? I'm not going to come in and say let's win 6 or 7-0 because it won't happen.
Yeah.
But it's all about sticking together and fighting now. You know, everyone's against United, even though we're not the team we was. You know, people have got to realise now, we're a mediocre team. You know, I think last year flattened us with where we finished. Teams have improved, spent well, got better players in. For me, we've made the wrong signings, but that's just my opinion. We just got to scrap now, and then hopefully the owner will get new owners in, and then things will be bright around the corner. But let's forget about all these exciting triangles and diamonds and this and that. Just scrap for the points. You know, for me, 4-4-2 all day long. You know, I was lucky to see Kinchelski's on one side, Giggs or Sharp on the other, Ince and Keane in the middle at Park. You know, then we Caddick coming in and Rooney and people like that up front and people like Nana. The good old days, you know, but we're not got those players anymore. You know,
definitely not.
You know, some of the squads we had there was frightening, you know, and it was a pleasure to watch, pleasure to be around, sat on the end of my seat. Ronaldo in his heyday, running past players, it was great. But those days are gone, and the days will not turn back until the club's properly run. And we get the right people.
Definitely, mate. Definitely. I watched the game with my granddad last night, and he told me about the first time he watched Eric Cantona. And I asked him, well, how did you first discover Eric Cantona? He was like, well, he was at Leeds and he won the league title with him. And my granddad had a City fan, or when his mates, he was a City fan. And he turned around and Leeds had just played Man City. And my granddad's mate turned around and said to him, watch this, Eric Cantona is an absolute nightmare. And I think he said it was Steve Bruce and another centre back, and they got and got completely just destroyed by Eric Cantona when he played for Leeds. And then when Eric Cantona signed for Man United, he said he was like never so happy in his life because he saw what a brilliant player Eric Cantona was. But you probably have many stories similar to about
how. I remember that game. United won 2-0. I think Bruce scored and Kinchelski's we beat him 2-0 at Old Trafford when they were redeveloping the Stretford end, and Cantona was an handful all day. It was an absolute handful. Obviously, he never scored. It was an handful. And I remember, like, Bruce and Palace were saying, oh, it was so hard to play against. And then, obviously, the famous thing was, like, the Leeds chairman rang up Edwards and asked about Dennis Irwin. And he said, what about Cantona? And he said, we'll have to... He's phoned me back 10 minutes later and the rest is history. You know what I mean? 1.1 million. You know, unbelievable. But business sales pay 85 for Anthony. That's like 50 edits. You know what I mean? But there you go. That's how football's changed, mate. But no, Cantona was a special player. He brought. It was a missing piece. He brought that link together. You know.
Yeah.
What a top bloke as well.
I'm guessing you've met him before.
Yeah, plenty of times. Yeah, obviously when I worked there, met him. I was at a do last year in town with Rowetta from the Happy Mondays, and Eric was there with his painting that Michael Brown who'd done that tour. They'd done the painting of Fergie and all that years ago with Bex and all that. Yeah, and obviously I'd worked for Eric a couple of times in the UK when he come over. We had a good laugh, had a pint, spoke about the old days.
What's he drinking? What's his favourite pint? Or
no, he likes a pint, but he likes a glass of champagne. You know, but great bloke, great player. You know, for the money what's banding around now, to pay what we did for him was unbelievable business. And
you're looking over 100 million nowadays, aren't you? Like easy over 100 million.
Yeah, it's quality, Eric, quality.
Definitely. Yeah. And just last question. Obviously, we went a bit off on a tangent there, but would you make any changes for the Luton game? Obviously, we spoke about Diogo Dalot, and if Reguilon is available, you'd play Reguilon. But is there any other changes you'd make? Maybe introduce Palestri or Mason Mount?
I'll stick with the same team, but put Reguilon in for Dalot, and then obviously it's going to have to be either Varane or Lindelof for Johnny Evans. I think that's the best we can go because, like you say, I thought the ball rotation and keeping the ball was probably the best I've seen for a long time.
Yeah.
So just go with that, and look to replace Ericsson maybe after 60 minutes, because I felt Sullivan could do. He was just passing for fun. He couldn't get near him. He was dropping deep, knocking little bits of balls here, long balls there, and obviously the sending off creates a space for the extra playoff. And he did struggle those last 10, 15 minutes, but keep it the same apart from adding for Evans and Reguilon in for Delo.
Yeah, I think that's a decent team, and obviously, if we can contain the ball well, build up in possession like we were doing, I think we can get a result. Obviously, like we said, every game's a must-win. Now, I know you don't like to give your score predictions, but I ask you, as always, what would you go for? I know you said you'd take a 1-0 with an own goal right at the end, but ideally, what are you thinking after the performance you saw against Copenhagen?
Oh, I'll go for Saturday. I'll go 3-1 United.
Okay. I'll take any win. I'll take any win.
No, I'll take any win. Like I said, last minute on goal will do. But, I thought the signs were there. First 35 minutes last night against a decent team away from home.
Yeah.
And we was cutting them to pieces. They couldn't get near us. They had the odd little bit of a chance, but nothing. And like I said, if Rashford don't get sent off, I think we win there 3 or 4-0.
Definitely.
With ease, because the second half they have to come out if it's still 2-0. And Rashford and Garnacho would have picked them off the pace, and Haaland's, but it never. We got beat, we move on. But Saturday's, like I say, a must-win game, and I'll go for United 3, Luton 1.
Yeah, would you all just last question as well? Would you also keep Rashford on the right like he did against Copenhagen? Would you put him back on the left? Because obviously, I remember when with his interview with Gary Neville on the overlap, he turned around and said that he hates playing on the right wing, but he still puts a job up there. And I saw it last night as well. He made a beautiful cross into the box. So Rashford can perform well on the right wing, but to get the best out of Rashford, he does say playing off the left is his best position. Would you keep Rashford on the right wing, or would you play him back on the left?
No, on the left. Bobby's on the right. No, not for me. But there you go. Then you've got the thing is, I thought Garnacho did okay-ish last night. I thought some parts he did well, some parts he was poor. But then again, our big problem's the right-hand side. Anthony's not pulling up any strings. The Sancho thing's an absolute disaster. Joke for the club. And then when you put the likes of Bruno there, he's not his position and he struggles. So it's an hard one to choose, and then Marcus will obviously come into the equation because we've got Garnacho on the left. But like you're saying, what he said on that interview with G Nev, he don't like playing on the right. And I think he's wasted his best position. When they scored all those goals last year, it overcracked his performances. I don't think his performances were very good last year, apart from his goals. I'm not saying he played bad. But for me, you've got to play Marcus on the left all day long. That's his position, on the left, cutting in. But will he play there? That means Garnacho can't play on the right. That means Anthony comes back in.
Yeah.
Or Bruno gets pushed there, or Mount gets pushed there. One thing I hate me about teams is when they play players out of position. Play them in the proper positions and they'll do well. Play Marcus on the left, keep him on the left, keep playing. The City game there, he made about 4 to 5 class runs in the first half and no one fed him. Not saying he would have scored, but he'd left the full back and the centre halves were dead. But no one played him through. So hopefully this red card won't affect his confidence, which must be at rock bottom at the moment. He needs a goal in a good game. Hopefully that'll start on Saturday at Luton.
Yeah, I completely.
Not at Luton, at Old Trafford v Luton.
Yeah, against Luton. I knew what you meant. But yeah, mate, honestly, thank you as always. I'm going to go for a 2-0 victory for United. But yeah, I appreciate you joining me. Technical issues, but I still appreciate it. But yeah, thank you for watching, and we'll see you all very, very soon. Thank you, mate.
See you soon, mate. Take care, pal.